in play.
Yeah, if I got a feeling 4, 5, 6 years, he probably max the way he gets, the way he takes the mission and gives the mission.
Well, I saw something the other day that said Mark Ingram, he was like the third string running back for whoever. Where does he play for now? The Ravens? Maybe. Yeah.
You know, whenever he first came out, he was terrible. And, but you tell you that, they getting beat on everything. Every weekend. They told them, oh boy.
Yeah.
So you figure you just average 2 to 3 years.
Oh, hi, sorry.
Then you go to the NFL and get another set of stuff.
How y'all wives gonna do it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks,
sir.
sir. How you doing?
I can't blame us.
I'm doing pretty good.
Where you want to sit there?
Larry, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, you keep that stuff in there.
Oh, man.
How you doing?
It's an honor you there.
Yes, sir.
How many children you got?
I did one little girl who she just turned 1 year old.
Oh, golly. He just started out. He said he gonna wind up with 7.
Yes, sir. That's what my wife said the other day. She said,
Yeah, he just started out. Now, he said he's gonna wind up with about 7.
hey, darling.
I think we'll make it good.
My wife, she said that the other day, because she'd always said she wanted 3. She said, you know, I could go for about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I said, no, ma'am.
There's a little way.
Thank you very much. Like that. I thought come through, but I'm not sure. We know.
Oh, your sidewalk?
Oh, I can buy gifts. Fair. How many people?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
It was started.
Miss Darlene, how are you?
I'm doing
I'm doing really good. Trying to get ready for Christmas. I got time for you. Always late to the last minute to do my shopping.
You and me both. Forgot my sheet.
All right, Collins, come.
Oh, I brought something in.
Who all these from? Is this your son?
Yeah.
Thank you much, Chris. Back again?
He went up there yesterday.
Is this the second?
See, he paid it.
Yeah, I know. I'm counting. I want that big $100.
Hey, what did he say? The white guy, you better not try. You better be
Thank you.
Jerry and Jerry.
Woo, man.
We didn't
Who
get
gave this one here?
Okay.
Anthony.
Okay, but that was my fault, because I remember I
Oh, that's what I was gonna get down there, but it ain't that.
Yeah. Right, he's watching, they were really good. Thank you, so much.
You department head that one, Ron?
Hey, Julie don't believe it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck, yeah, that-
Oh, okay.
No.
Paperwork. Little cheap.
Thank you, Michael.
We need to wait. Yeah, you know, we get on. We got a couple on that. Yeah. Well,
Hey, Charles, you called?
Oh, that's Chipper. I'm sorry. Sorry. What's Anthony's number? I don't think we have it saved in the iPad. This is Peterman.
564
Uh-huh.
4128.
Oh, okay, that's 564.
Julie, you can. He's not gonna be here today. Okay. Will you give him, I will. Thank you.
There. Oh, okay.
You remember?
I do. Okay, thank you.
There.
This man, I don't know. If Anthony.
That's not.
Man.
I sure don't know. Oh, this is okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to go ahead and call our work session to order so that we can proceed with the business of the council. The first item for discussion is Southeast, and that is the parking spaces at Bank Lake Project and also the tap grade. Mr. Paxton, is here to give us an update on the parking spaces at the lake. And, where we stand with it.
Yes, the project's still moving along nicely. Since last time we saw y'all in 2 weeks, quite a bit of progress has been made.
You're chasing ducks around.
That's right. So what we have tonight, or today, is the change order to add the parking. This would add 7 parking spots. Same thing y'all saw last time. Actually worked with the contractor to nail down pricing, and it came in at $45,000. So just a change order for you. That would, with the previous change order that we've had, that would take the total up to $452,000. $452,390.50 would be the new budget, if you will. So really just here to answer any questions y'all may have on that and see how y'all want to proceed. We are getting to a point now where the contractor doesn't even know, so they can go ahead and start on this one before they fill the lake back up.
And, one other point was, I believe that they need about 700 yards of
Yes.
dirt. And I've been in touch with the, Judge Stinson. We asked them to say, I told her about it, she was gonna put it on the agenda for the county commission. And, the councilman chief moved to table it. I went back and asked her if they reconsidered, because we actually need that dirt by next week. To stay on contract, to stay on schedule. So, hopefully we can go through and get that done and we'll be on schedule.
And it came out to be a $5 per yard savings, getting the county to haul the material in there as opposed to having the contractor supply the dirt. Per cubic yard, $5 per yard. Mr. Melvin, is there any questions on that or how y'all like to proceed?
I mean, was that a concrete shelf on that other side of where we got?
It was.
Was that because when they used to be swimming? That's what, my understanding, that's where they, swimming and all, then they had the beach, sandy beach up there. Yeah. But the concrete slab was so they could, have a good bottom whenever they was swimming. Yeah, is that staying? Yes, so that's staying.
Yeah, the concrete slab's been cleaned off, there's no dirt on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and I know they had poured it, so I assumed it was already there.
Yes, sir.
Any other problems or anything to run into?
No, sir, everything else is going smooth. They're on schedule, I would say. We had it in there to be complete by the end of February, and I think we added parking. I think we're going to even get that in to be done by the end of February. Everything's on schedule. You never know what the weather's gonna do, but as it stands right now, everything's good to go. And I would say they actually started cleaning out the small settling pond today. They got most of the muck dug out of the lake. That should be completed hopefully by the end of this week. The dam has been cleared off and tracked in, got all the riprap on the dam. So they went up.
Those concrete mats, so that they covered up when they want to be covered, they just kind of stabilization.
Part of them will be in the water, about 2 foot should be above water level. That way, grass will grow over it, but whenever we cut around the lake, it'd be less chance of the mower or tractor slipping into the lake.
Some of the tracks on some of that equipment is kind of working on that asphalt.
On the road, yes, sir. Yeah, we actually took pictures of that today and we'll send it to the contractor. And we had a conversation with them last week on the site, that's gonna have to be addressed. And that'll be on the contractor. That's just damage. There's a note in every single set of plans we put out. Any damage done by the contractor has to be repaired to the owner's standards. So that'll be taken care of once the project's completed. Yes, ma'am.
Next item is.
I think Ms. Dunn had a question, sorry.
I had some people to call me concerning the sidewalk, and Michael probably can tell us more about it. I think they would like to have the sidewalk on the west side instead of the east side. Am I right there? But it was some people that are talking about that to see if y'all could move it.
On Golf Drive. Yes, ma'am.
And that's the next item up.
Oh, that's next, okay.
Because as it stands right now, there was an item for discussion talking about the capital. Now, I understand back in 2019, when the proposal was originally set up, that it was unanimous consent to proceed with one of the grants. And as far as April, we still had unanimous consent to proceeding with the grant. But now, I don't know, it appears that we have some concerns from the community and some concerns from the council members about proceeding with this grant and how it is to be carried out. And my only concern is this, we're at the point really of no return, that we're going to proceed with it or not proceed with it. And that is where I want to go through to get your input. It appears that you have had some people from the community talk to you. Had one individual come in from the golf course to talk to me, and I think y'all may have had some folks talk to y'all. That came talk to me. So, we're actually at the point that we have not sent in the resolution, and the question is, and I think it's already been put forth from Silver Southeast, that there are challenges that they may face in installing the sidewalk. So, I guess the question is, if this is an item that the council wants to proceed with. If it's not an item that y'all think that we should proceed with, we can't use the funds for any other purposes. The only thing we can do is write a letter back to the Department of Transportation, telling them that we're returning these funds and we'll find another opportunity on the next grant program.
And the way the grant was written, it has to be golf drive.
It has to be golf drive.
There's no option.
Yeah, I actually spent quite a bit of time on the phone with Aldott today, just seeing if maybe we could take a different route, go down to Con and up Buford, Baggy Dog. And, with that not being in the original scope, we couldn't add that in. And that's coming from Aldott.
Will that hurt us in the next go round when we get ready to get a grant?
At this point, no, ma'am, I don't think so. Now, if we were to execute, and we're halfway through design, and y'all have already been committed to the project, and then you say, oh, never mind, I don't want money, that may hurt your chances in the future. But if you turn it in right now with not having, you did execute our resolution, and we would just, throw that away. But the actual resolution with your agreement between the city and Aldott has not been executed. We can simply submit a letter like the mayor saying, just saying that, thank you for the consideration, but we're gonna reject this money at this time. And I don't think it would.
Can you turn it in and say that you're gonna use it in my district? You can do that.
I wish that's the way it works, but unfortunately it's not.
What about, have you looked at the west side?
So that's gonna be the side that's not the golf course.
Right.
Is the west side. And yes, sir, we have looked at it, and, I think it's possible that we might could fit a sidewalk down there. But without having worked through a formal design with survey shots and true data, it's hard for me to sit here and say what that would look like. Do I think that we could fit a 4-foot sidewalk on the west side? 70% probably so. But I can't stand here and say 100% that it can happen. Without going through a formal design, it's just tough to answer that question right now.
I understand that in the point there, but I also, one of my biggest concerns to this whole thing is, yes, y'all applied for a grant of a certain amount of dollars. You have to have some basis for that certain amount of dollars. Now,
Right.
You just throw a number out here, if it's so many feet and it averages out to be this much per foot, and we can come up with a price. Not that we gotta move this tree or move this street or this fire hydrant or anything else to come up with that dollar. That's what bothers me.
Well, so
And in a sense, if you're coming up with those numbers, you've done some research,
and we have.
and that's what I'm disappointed in. I've never been presented with it with a way that we look like there was gonna be this much problems involved with it.
Well, I think it just goes back to, we are admitting that this is gonna be a challenging project. Now, I can tell you right now, if we have to get a sidewalk down Golf Drive, we can do that. We feel more confident on the golf course side, just because you don't have to deal with driveways and certain, each resident on the golf course side. But do I sit here and can I tell you 100%? No. But that's really with every project. It's the same way with the lake project. Until we just get in, we actually do a survey, we really, at some point, it's still a yes.
I cannot visualize looking at it to see how it works, period.
Well, and that's what we're saying,
We've got
it's not gonna be-
tremendous ditch there you gotta do something with. You have enough room to get off that road. You got fire hydrants, quick down there right in the middle of it. And besides trees, the golf course and fence and everything else is going on with it.
And that's what we're saying, it's not gonna be easy, and if the council feels like it's not a project they wanna pursue, we recommend at this point that we just give the money back.
We don't need to give them money back.
Well, we never want to
But you're gonna spend
make
$250,000 to not give the money back. It's gonna cost us that much more.
Well, Jeremy wanted to be here today, and actually got a letter from Jeremy just kind of stating that, we never want to give money back.
I know.
But it's one of these things where, like the mayor said, we're at a point where if we do right now, I don't think it's gonna hurt us in the future. No harm in it. Yes, sir.
Question. Would you be able to shorten the distance, instead of having to go all the way down to the lake as a cost savings to get it all the way on the west side of the street, that you would?
If I remember correctly, when you guys came in, you said that if the funding allowed, it will let you take it to the lake.
Correct.
You were not able to say that, guarantee that you would go to the lake because of any issues you may run into with the challenges that you talked about.
I don't think the lake was consideration, it was community house, wasn't it?
Well, so really both of those things. The idea is to take it to the community.
Yeah.
The part from that intersection, that part in Gulf Drive, down to the lake, that line was added on there just in case we get really good bid pricing. We can set up what you call an alternate to where you maximize your grant funds.
See, I'm concerned with going toward a community house, the fact that we don't have to pay that before long and then have to do something up on that top of them, make that look.
Let me make a suggestion, if I could. Instead of doing this project this year, since there's so much, uncertainty and everything, could we take that $200-something thousand and fix that road right there by the community house and fix that parking like we've been wanting to?
Now, not so much we're going to spend to do the other, that's what he's saying now.
You're taking your match on the other and
Yeah.
transferring it to fix that.
That way we could widen that road out and have some more parking up that way.
I mean, I cannot believe we've survived this long with that curve right here at the community house of not having a disaster. And I mean, you can't get in there with cars, well,
I forget what the estimate the last time may have been $100-something thousand. I'm not sure. It's been several years.
We could look at it for you, see what it would be.
But widen, what we're gonna do, because it's gonna have to be a retainer wall on that bank. Once we move all that back, because you ain't gonna be able to slope the bank, because you're gonna have to put a retainer wall. And I want to say it was a little over $100-something thousand several years ago. But it would get that place widened out and also add some more parking right there.
That might be better money spent at this time, whatever the majority agree. But to me, Pecan Drive to Buford and back around would be much better. I mean, you stay away from the golf course entirely almost, other than that one tee box right there when you get to Buford.
Right.
And the people that would use that sidewalk, I mean, they're just walking for exercise.
Yeah.
So
they're not going anywhere there.
do what?
They're not going anywhere there.
No,
They said they're just using it.
but the thing about it, they would probably feel better, not dodging golf balls.
Yeah.
Going around Pecan to Buford,
And I think that was the concern of the fellow from the golf course.
I've had, not done this one, I had several on that comment, but the other is, I know y'all work miracles, because I've seen some of them, but, I just cannot visualize seeing how that's gonna work with the issues that are there. Mainly the distance from the road for right of way, and then the ditch, if you gotta.
It would be easy, but I do want you to know that we would not have recommended the project had we thought we couldn't do it.
Yeah. As I said,
But now that there's, some concerns and just.
and that's the difference in what before was going, proceed with the project was fine and going, but then we'll come back with what the thoughts of what the project is, gonna change that picture some. I mean, it wasn't presented quite that way in the front end of this, we won't put a sidewalk down here.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think that goes back because, the city has a comprehensive plan. And a lot of that was included in the comprehensive plan, which is what you guys were acting on.
Yes.
So, like I say, it goes back and, I appreciate the fact that Civil Southeast told us up front it was gonna be a challenge to do it. And, it's our decision at this point whether or not we want to proceed or, we actually find out that, it's such a challenging project for us that we would rather return the money and apply for something else.
And up until probably a month or so ago, I never looked at a firehouse or a light bulb on Golf Drive.
I think there's 4 of them, I think.
At least.
Oh, wow, there's one in every street.
Good service.
I think this is gonna hurt us when we send that money back. It gonna hurt it. We're not gonna be able to get into the sidewalks, and I need one, and then trying to do something. Could we go right there to the four-way stop and make a right and put the sidewalk going there?
I wish that we could, but
It's already in
We don't have an option.
I highly doubt that it's gonna hurt your chances in the future.
Say what?
I highly doubt it's gonna hurt your chances in the future. Now, if we do this again and then we turn around and we do it a third time, yeah, they may start to say, no, we're not gonna give any more money. But the city's been a really good steward of the money that they received from LDOT. And I don't think this is gonna be a black eye on the city whatsoever. Like I said, it's the fact that we're doing it ahead of time. We're not waiting until we get into the project and then say, oh, never mind. Because they could actually take this money and maybe give it to somebody else to apply while it's still early enough. So it's not gonna be money wasted on LDOT's part.
And since there is safety concerns, they will look at that. You know, they will look at safety concerns and, you know, take all that into consideration.
But we have a really good working relationship with the guys at LDOT, Justin Noble. He's kind of over this program. And we could bring him to Monroeville one day and throw him in the truck and ride him down the road and just say, hey, here were the concerns. And he'll go back and he'll make sure that it's not gonna impact the city moving forward. He will understand. They will understand.
You know, the good thing, I went back and I looked at some of the projects that Civil Southeast has conducted, work on the city in the past. On the vast majority of them, they come in and budget or under budget. So their calculations are pretty accurate. You know, I think there was one in there where it may have gone over, but when you look at all of the others, they got a pretty good track record.
Because they've done two sidewalks for me.
Mhm.
And we really enjoy working with the city. I think we've got a really good working relationship for a long time, and we have your best interest in mind. You know, it's like Jeremy says in the letter here, it's not a recommendation you want to make to come and say, turn this money away. But we think it's in your best interest, and we don't want to benefit off of something that y'all don't want to benefit from. So.
Yeah, I just hate we waste our time on all this. We could have put it somewhere else. That's the only thing concerning me about
Okay. Do we have any more comments concerning
And we'll stand behind whatever decision y'all make. Just let us know how you'd like to proceed, whether you want to move forward with the project or whether we want to submit a letter out about saying we'll send the money back.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Next item to discuss is talk about the public participation policy. And, that's basically for people coming before the city council, you know, to bring issues. And right now, I don't think that our public participation order is very vague. You know, it pretty much says that, you get 5 minutes before the council, that, it has to be in by 12 noon on the Monday prior to the council meeting. But it pretty much doesn't say anything else other than that from what I've read. And if we go back and we modify this, and there are some examples that were sent out to everybody, but there are certain things that should not be discussed in front of the council. Certain things such as personnel matters, which should be handled by department heads and mayor because that's an administrative function. Pending criminal investigations is another thing that a lot of times people want to come in and, you know, they want to complain about and bring that before the council. Some of the other things have to do with what's in the, for the good and the order of the council and the community in general. And one of the things that would be required if we move forward toward this in the council studies that is that there would be a request form that would be given out. And there would be time limits on how long they would need to speak. And that's something that we would need to determine, whether it's 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something of that nature. So I would ask the council to go back and, you know, take a look at the information on the public participation policy. Mary, I think you emailed it out also.
Yes, sir.
And it'd be something that we come back and study in our next work session coming up in January. We have any comments, concerns?
I think you're heading the right direction. I think that's the correct thing we need to have. Because it's been a little vague in some people, some such things as, and I'm not advocating this as far as the thing, but should they be members of our city, city limits type thing? Anybody outside of that, and then specifically, if they're not, what reasons do they have justification coming forward? That was a concern that I thought about too.
Well, I think, like I say, that would give us an opportunity for everybody to have comments on, what your thoughts are, and, then we can move forward with formulating an ordinance to that effect. Okay, very good. All right. I know on a previous meeting, there was, a discussion talking about the events coordinator, that becoming an employee versus a contract employee. And, I've gone through and, I've tried to put out some pros and cons. One is that we would have to go back and establish a job description. We would have to establish a pay grade. We would have to go out and publicize it, make a determination whether or not this would be a full-time position or a part-time position, and all of these things. Well, versus contract employee, the city has no obligation for benefits or anything of that nature. So, from my standpoint, I open it up in discussion. From my standpoint, I look at it as retaining it as a contract position. I don't know how the other council members do. But, considering all of the things that we have to go through to make this a city employee at the time, I feel that's just my position. I think it's working well, and that maybe that we should keep it at the time. Any more comments and concerns?
Well, she already, she has a job description already and job classification, so that shouldn't be too hard to do. And we shouldn't have to advertise this since she already, working for us, so I don't see,
She's not a public employee. And so as you move from a contract to a public employee, then that is when we have to advertise positions to give an opportunity for anyone to apply.
But see, I think if we do advertise it, I think the people probably, she still probably get it, because she's doing such a great job.
Yeah, I think she's doing a good job.
She's doing a really good job. People just be saying what a good job she's doing and everything.
But, if we do it in that manner, and, because you have to go out and you have to accept all applications. Because you can't look at it, you can't get tied into, this thing with people, somebody can complain when you had it pre-selected.
But I think she still would be the best
I
candidate.
understand that, but that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Proper way to do it.
she works extremely hard.
Right.
She's probably, if you figured in her pay per hour, it's probably minimum wage or less. I mean, she does a fantastic job. There's no doubt about that. But I know there's been some pushback from some people back through the years. And I don't think she's really been treated fairly, if you want to know the truth.
That's right.
I really don't. I mean, there's been some friction, some pushback. This was before you. I mean, this has been back through the years. And, if we see fit not to make her a full-time employee, then come budget time, we need to look at her pay.
I agree.
I agree. I have no qualms about, renegotiating the contract.
Right.
There's not an issue there for me.
But there's just been some pushback over the last 4 years that I've been on here from certain people, and it just really hasn't been right.
I hate to say this is one of the prime examples. Unfortunately, when family members are involved, it makes a difficult situation and discussion and also acting properly on it. And I'm nothing against Alan, it's Dawn, But again, that makes it uncomfortable in that situation, that, for one way or the other on that. You get into personal feelings more than sometimes than you would actually objectively looking at it.
Well, I had the opportunity, I think this was created under Mayor Mike Kennedy.
Yes.
And
And I tell you what, if y'all remember, I bucked it to the last minute because I wanted him to present us with a vision of what he wanted. They kept saying event coordinator. And I'll tell you, I imagined him as having somebody because he wasn't as openly out person in a public comfortable situation. He was looking for somebody to be at the fence that he was not comfortable with being with and handling. I mean, I'm just saying that because I'm honest about it. Like Mike did a good job, but I mean, that was my thoughts. And they never could come up with a vision, and they finally come up with it, and we had an event coming, 4th of July, and we said, well, we got a half a year to go with this, we've got to budget this, go ahead and try it. And it worked. And it worked under the conditions we set it up to as specific things to do, and then paid to justify doing it. So, I mean, yeah, that's when it's set up, and it seems to have worked under the conditions so far, well, except for a few glitches.
Okay. So, at I guess my question is, what is the wishes for the council, on this matter to be taken up at our next council meeting?
I'm still happy with it being the way it is.
To make our city employee.
Now, if you want to go further than that point, and I have not talked to anybody, Dawn or anybody else in it, what is the purpose of what she does? Promote Monroeville. Do we not have other organizations that we funnel money into to promote Monroeville? Would she be better served working under one of those groups as a paid employee than under our direction?
The way it's set up now, she works directly for the mayor.
That's right.
That's the way it's all.
And that's it. We're listening in the personalities of all of us conflict with it. It's under your discretion in that. But if some of the same functions are being handled by the Chamber of Commerce and Main Street, or the coordinating through that, would that be better served in the purpose than through us?
Well, from my standpoint, I see where Main Street, they do their functions, I see where the Chamber does theirs. But there are certain things that when you put that brand, and this is what we talk about, branding, that the city of Monroe is doing. I think that helps put us out in the forefront also, that we as a council and the city government, we're being progressive and we're providing activities and everything for our citizens. You know, and that's it, that's a reflection.
I'm not advocating that, I'm just presenting it as right, because they thought it was right.
And that's kind of the way why, you know, with what she's been able to do as a contract employee, all of the events have been successful.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what I look at. And, you know, if it comes down to the point where maybe we need to negotiate a contract, you know, that's something we can take into consideration. Or also as to the point as to whether or not to make it a city employee. And it's just, like I say right now, if it comes down, if the concern is about compensation, I think we can address that in the contract. Okay. All right. Okay, there being no further discussion, we do have a quote from Michael, and it's about the 450 update. Michael, I'll let you.
Yeah, and the price is the same. He said it'll be at 2021, but he said the price is still the same on the truck.
But they got a newer model.
Yes, it will be at 2021. He said the reason that the bids changed on the police car is because they wanted to change some stuff up on the police cars. That's the reason it went up on them. But it said on the trucks, they stayed the same.
And that was on the state contract?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And Mike, I'm in favor of y'all getting a truck, but if I vote against it, it's because I want local dealers to have an opportunity to submit a bid too, so that would be one. It's not because I don't think y'all deserve.
Well, I have talked to Sales Ford before, and at one time, he was gonna get on the state bid, but I don't know what happened there. But, I don't know, you know, the state's kind of hard sometimes getting on their bid list.
The next item that came up in which we were talking about is that I was contacted by, Mr. Pete, but currently they're doing this food bank at the, IP building on the outside, that parking lot area there. And, they were still paying rent down at the community house. And what they was asking if the city would, release them from that obligation since they were no longer using the community house. So, you know, I think that would, assist them in saving some of the money and possibly even using it for other purposes.
Do they use any of the facilities at all, their bathrooms or inside of building storage or anything like that?
And
I can do, no. Out of the food bank they do.
yeah, but, when they moved it from there out there to the IP, basically all they used was the parking lot and, you know, the back garage section of the shed was, that was all they used. So,
The only thing would be is some type of time period and that we can renew it if something else changes.
Next item on discussion is coming up is talking about Mardi Gras parade. And, get input from the council on their position on that. I know we've had, several of the surrounding cities who, had gone through and they had questions about the, Mardi Gras parade coming up. And I think a lot of those issues came from the fact of, COVID-19. And so, you know, as we move forward, I think we were looking at a day, we just came in, it was the second week in February was possible date, was it not, Ms. Brooks? For Mardi Gras parade.
The sixth, the first Saturday.
First Saturday in February. And it has been suggested that we consider doing what they call a reverse parade if the council wishes to proceed with holding it. And the way that would work is that the floats would be aligned in parking spaces around the square. And we were looking at letting the traffic come in off of East Place in front of the bypass. No one would get out of the car. The participants on the floats would have the trinkets of moon high as bags, based on enough for 4 people in a car and a bag. And they would give the bag to the people in the car. And once they made the way around the square, they would take a right on South Alabama and be out of town. So there would be actually, no contact, but, you know, I guess the question comes down, considering all of the governor's orders and things like that, if this is something that the council would want to proceed planning commission.
The biggest thing, concentration, is the people concentrating there. Were you comfortable with, being out? I did not participate in it because I was cooking during that time. Parade, do you feel like the Christmas parade went very well?
I think it went well. I don't think that, the increase in the cases we had came from the Christmas parade, per se, because there was no contact between the participants in the parade and the public out there, other than, you know, the controls that was given to them. And in most cases, you know, I utilize gloves, and, I even threw out masks. Some people they didn't want it. But, you know, that was the thing about it, you know, it seems like to me you had a lot of people who were family groups that were together, and doing the parade, but if the council wishes to proceed with this, that would be even less contact, people never get out of call. This would be a reverse parade. So.
I can't visualize, I can visualize the people going around, but I can't quite visualize how we would set our floats up in that, but,
Basically, the floats would be stationary in parking spaces they would start to either build or finish off on Friday, and then they'd be already in place. So when we do all the other stuff during the day, like the market and everything else, we run that part like the farmer's market portion, but that would bring everybody to downtown still to visit the shop, so we'd at least get that interaction that way, but still be able to social distance and have masks. And then later on that night, you know, they'd all come back in, they'd stage themselves on their floats or their areas. And then we would just have the cars come up the bypass and go straight over through here on East Claiborne, and then around the square and then back out. And we have enough manpower to do it according to the police department. So they're fine with it. They like the idea. They feel a lot safer with it. I think the people that are normally participating in the parade would feel a lot safer. And this would still be a way to have some fun. It's an easy thing to go with this year. And so I think it would be fun to still do. And we could still say we're having it, but it may put us on the map because we're doing something different. Because a lot of the organizations have already canceled. I talked with a lot of the ones that I know down in Baldwin County, and some have canceled. The city of Gulf Shores and Orange Beach haven't decided yet on how they're going to do it. They'll be able to stop taking permits right now until they're waiting for more orders to come down from the governor. So this is a safe way for us to do it and still be able to plan it and be able to, you know, to work around things a lot easier and still have it.
You know, the parade, I can see, you know, what you're saying, and, you know, that wouldn't be a problem. But now this Mardi Gras market, where you gonna have everybody congregate downtown, I don't know, you know, I wonder about that.
Well, that was just something that we started doing about 2 to 3 years ago.
I know.
And that's more of like a shopping, getting downtown that way, but that's more like what we do during the day anyways. It's social distancing, it's masks, it's hand sanitizer. We did it with tree lighting, but that is all up to you if you all want to still have that portion of it. Otherwise, we'll just go to parade and handle it that way.
Yeah, after we were discussing the Mardi Gras parade and doing a reverse parade, and the way that would work is that the floats would be located around the square. The people would stay in their cars. We would bring them in off of East Claiborne from the bypass, and they take a right, and they go around the square by all of the floats. And when they get back around the square to South Alabama Avenue, they would exit out of town. Okay. Yeah, and the question had just come up about the market, and as to whether or not, you know, we would proceed with that. And Ms. Brugman just said that, you know, it would be our decision as to whether or not we think we need to do the parade and the market, or just the market. I mean, just the parade. Okay. But Larry, that's your concern, the market people.
That's like even with the problem with the Mardi Gras parade is not necessarily the floats and the people. Those interactions is all the people huddled up, waiting on those goods coming out.
Right.
I mean, that's still a contact there. This is not any worse than the other contacts we had. But that's when you got 100 people in that area from right here to here, all staying for a lengthy amount of time, even though it's outside, their contact is what the concern.
Right. So if you do it this way, they stay in the car.
Yeah,
That's
if it'll work, it sounds good. I just, a lot of our floats are just vehicles to some point, and how they set up to do the same thing and be recognized.
And, right now, we got more cases in the last 14 days than we've had at all. And we don't know, hopefully January will be better, but I just don't know.
This was just a proposed solution to anything that was coming at us at that point, so we can at least do something for the kids.
Yeah. Councilman Thomas, you have comment?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared to make a decision on anything right now with this COVID number so high. And my concern is that even though that people not gonna stay in their cars, they're gonna get out.
Well, they won't be
They
able
like to
to.
read the paper and all that type stuff. And that's a concern that I have about it. So I don't know whether we need to have it or not. But that's up to y'all because this COVID is pretty bad right now. We got Christmas coming up. Then a week later, we got New Year's coming up. So, and then we're gonna have Mardi Gras coming up. That's a lot in the next 3 weeks. And,
Well,
3 to 4 weeks. So.
Yeah, the Mardi Gras parade was actually, if the council proceeds with it, that wouldn't be until February 6th.
Okay.
And the way that would work is that the people on the floats will have stuff bagged. And, as cars come by, they would pass down the bag.
There'd be one person.
Right, there would be one person there passing the bag, and each bag would contain, enough for 4 people in a car. And so they actually would never stop. They would remain in the car, and then once they got around South Alabama Avenue, they take a right and they're out of town.
Okay.
And Toomey's and some of these other Mardi Gras places actually do bag up stuff. Some of the peanuts and popcorn, but then they have good care on corn last year. I tried 8 more than I thought. Reasonably priced, and it is packaged items. I think they even have some other trinkets that way too. If we go with this, I think the city needs to commit to furnishing who did the roads for make sure people are covered in that area.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of cars.
Yeah, I said it could be a lot. I said I think we good. We got some room probably there, but for us to be purchasing. Did we agree we could do that on? We can purchase candy for. Yeah. Okay. And that would be a way to cover. We're doing this with it because you're gonna actually have to put out more stuff than what you're riding because you're going fast enough. You can't get everything out. Here you go, the committee to give something to almost everybody, and it's going to be very extensive in numbers. We don't want the last 20 cars not get anything.
Yeah, we would limit the parade to an hour, and after that hour is finished, it's cut off at 7:30.
So the time would be 6:30 to 7:30.
Yes, that's what it normally takes for them to go around the square.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, I guess it'll just come up, we have to decide if we want to do the parade and the market or just the parade.
How long does the market last?
It would be from 11 to 2, it says in the paperwork.
Has it been big numbers in the past?
It's something that we've done just over the past, this would be our 3rd year doing the day part of it. Just to keep everything downtown during the day. Town started doing that to keep people down there, eat down there and stay down there is what it was basically for. We had a moon pie eating contest, the king and queen coronation. We had the the second line procession, we had gotten that all up and running last year.
Is there any way if we are able to go through with it, that we can social distance?
I think we can, because I don't think there's a lot of people that would really congregate for it. I think we could still do it. We would just, have to have it organized with some groups and make sure it's social distance. That's what, last year we had organizations that came up and did the second line procession with us. It was a couple of churches with their young kids. And that's mainly what it was, with umbrellas and marching, stuff like that. But if you prefer not to do that this year, then just do the parade. That would, be fine as well.
I mean, I don't like to cancel anything,
Right.
but you just don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things I look at also, you go to Walmart, there's a bunch of people in Walmart. I, work at a school, there's kids in school. I coach basketball, I'm in there with a bunch of people in clothes in the gym, at least this way, they're outside, and if they have a plan, they can afford, to generate some money and give some, people some normalcy, something to do, man, I mean, I'm for it, but,
And I think just like she said, you need the fact that a lot of people canceling, we're still having it, but this is how we're having it. The marketing, I'm more concerned with, like y'all, than the parade, but I'd like to try the parade version of it.
Yeah, like I said, at this point, it's just 22, you just, playing it by ear, but.
And I see we still act on the first meeting in January, that gonna cause.
Well, we need to know so that the float people can start getting ready more than anything else. That portion of it anyway.
I'd be inclined with the parade as a go. The market is where I have a concern with that.
Yeah, go with the parade now and then say we look maybe the first meeting in January about the,
That will still give people
give
time.
you a chance to get started.
And that'll be time to get the numbers back from, Christmas.
Yeah, the main thing is, the kids will be home, because they're gonna be off on winter break. So we just don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully they're not leaving town and they're staying in their bubble here. And they're not, moving places. So that's gonna determine the numbers.
I'm concerned,
So. But the main thing is, more along the lines of moving the parade, if you are gonna do it, I highly recommend that decision today, so people can get started, because a lot of them build their floats during winter break.
So, as we go into making determination on what I'm hearing the council saying is that we are in favor of the reverse parade, and we will consider the market at the next council meeting. That's what I'm hearing.
I can agree with that. I like that.
Okay. All right. Okay, I guess we're down to me. I had a request that came in, and it's about a closeout hearing on the ED grant. And, which grant was that?
It's an economic development grant that we, have in the J&L area.
Right.
And they've met their job requirements, so now we can close the CDBG grant with the incubator.
And so we need to have a public hearing on that.
Yes, sir.
It's scheduled for January 5th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that'll be an item to come up in council meeting. Okay. Just for the council's information, the subcommittee studying the pay plan, we met 3 times. We've gone through and I think we've made progress. There was a question that came up about some of the, grade classification, and which we're going to submit questions to Auburn for them to answer that. And then we'll come back and meet again to continue to work on this and try and resolve those issues on the pay classification. That's kind of where we stand now. one of the, other things that is coming up, and, I know that, so I'm gonna touch on this first, because it goes back to the lake, and that's the possibility of a fishing pier. You know, while we got it down, we got it done, and if it's the, council's wishes, I'll contact Civil Southeast to see if they can give us an estimate on what it would take to, look at installing a fishing pier out while we got the lake down. The other thing is the Smith Foundation provided a $7,500 grant, to the city to restock the lake once we go through that and work on finishing. So it'll be a two-part process, you put the brim and everything in first, allow them to mature before you put in bass and catfish. So, that is this progress there. The next item that I wanted to put before the council and ask you to consider is, until further notice, because of the number of COVID cases we had, is to look at the possibility of conducting the council meetings by Zoom. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. If y'all feel comfortable like we are now, then, you know, we can proceed, or if you feel better, we conduct it by Zoom as you have done in the past.
I'm fine with this. We don't have to wait for
That is, that's the next thing that comes up in talking about, conducting the Zoom meeting for public hearings. And we do have a public hearing that will be coming up here in the near future on the 21st. One of the ways that we can do that is we can ask anyone who is having, any comments, that they can contact City Hall and be put on a list. And we can have, they can wait out the parking lot, we can have people escorted in one at a time.
That'd be good.
that unless we go to some location and got a little more size than this. I mean, I don't know if we want to go that route, like the water tower or something like that.
But if we escort them in, you know, one at a time, you know, I think that we can carry on our business and, probably get taken care of fairly quickly. And, that's one of the thoughts that I had, about it. The other thing that, I was going to bring forth, and this is just for discussion, we don't have to take any action on it right now, but there's a possibility that we can get some grant funding to look at the grant outlet to pay that lot and possibly, put in some type of structure out there for future use by food banks. And see, that would, in a lot of instances, when you start talking about some traffic congestion that's happening with some of them, I think that's big enough space out there that it can handle.
So, and,
The old outlet.
the old outlet thing, not paying fair.
Right, the old outlet.
Okay.
So, you know, if council feels that there's something that's worth pursuing, then, we will start the process to see what we take to get it done. And that way, you get all the traffic off the roads. Yeah, I think it's big enough out there that it can accommodate all of the traffic.
So the food trucks can go up, there, so.
Right.
Would they have to pay the city a lot fee?
What they're doing with grant money, I wouldn't think so. But you see, you're gonna have another round of COVID money coming down. And I think that would be a real good use of it that will, and it'll benefit not only the city, it'll benefit the county, because you got people coming from all over to these food banks.
Well, I went here a couple of times ago, was white. They were everywhere.
All right, let me see if I got anything else on here.
I guess, could you use it like for the, market that we have, the farmer's market and all too, or is it still, that's just an idea?
I think we'd like to keep it downtown.
Yeah.
Bring people to it. Yeah, that could be, you know, one one of the plans was to have a little kind of farm apartment out there, presented to us. Biggest thing, we need to get that parking lot paid, if we can.
See, that's the purpose of proceeding with terms of the grant.
Yeah.
Because you get the parking lot paid, and then we could look at, either, enclosing a space out there that could be used for storage if needed be, or the possibility with those money, you might provide the structure out there for it. So, that would be something I think be worthwhile to see, be beneficial to the city and the community.
Mayor, back to that Fair Park, when they look at the, pier, you think we could look at what it would cost to recreate the little sandy beach that you have out there?
Yes.
Okay.
But I know right now with the addition of the other parking spaces, we're getting close to the 455,000 that, was budgeted for. But, if it's possible, while you got the water down, it'd be much easier to put a pier in if it's something that the city can afford to do. So I'll ask them to run the numbers on it. And we should be able to have those back in around 10 years to look out of that. Okay. All right, that's all I got. Go ahead.
When we go into executive session, are we supposed to go out and tell what we discussed in the executive session?
No, ma'am. Usually what happens is there's an issue when we come out of executive session, then we come forward with a motion that describes what action it is we're going to take. And so if we don't bring a motion out of executive session, it's where it stays with us.
Yeah, I just noticed in the paper last week, some of the, I guess the information that we discussed in the executive session was in the paper. And some of that stuff we didn't, discuss, I don't think. Did y'all read the paper?
Yeah.
Did y'all pick up?
That was that, yeah, she gave the write-up on that to us, but it did come, Claus wasn't privileged to that, because he was working on it.
So it was okay for Darlene to put it in the.
It was,
Yeah.
I did,
Well, there was information in that article that we had not even seen,
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the executive session, it was just about the company and trying to just let some of the information that public know about what's going on.
Right, for the public hearing.
For the public hearing. I wanted to help, I knew what the ad was going to say, so I wanted to help, put out some of the information that the ad would have in it.
And it worked too, because they worked my phone with it.
Yeah. Mine too, I had some calls about it as well. So.
Which I was glad to get, they supported my position, so.
Well, the thing about it was the firecracker. People think that it's a firecracker.
Yeah, that came dry.
But it is not. And so that was one of the things I wish I had, explained a little bit better, but because of, restraints from the person that's interested in it, I could not elaborate anymore.
Is that the corporate business he operates under, that name?
It is one of them.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But to have a true public hearing, shouldn't the public know exactly what's going in that building?
Yes, and that's going to be in the hearing.
I mean, but if I'm sitting there reading it, and I interpret it to be fireworks, and I don't care if they put fireworks out there, I'm not coming to the meeting. So how am I gonna know there ain't fireworks going in there? You didn't put it in the article. You did not say what's coming in that building. Well, how can I have an opinion as to whether I do or don't like what's coming in that building?
Well, and what about the other folks that are out there? What's their perception when they see something like that?
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah, are you hiding something? My first question.
Yeah, when you throw that name out there, I used to sell fireworks.
Yeah.
One of my distributors was in downtown Hazleton, their warehouse was built in an area that was rural,
And I
and
know,
subdivisions wide building around it.
I know that y'all's intent is not to hide. I mean, I've known y'all, the majority of y'all a long time, and I know that's not your intent, but that's the way it's perceived.
Well, it wasn't anyone here's intent, it was the person who's interested in the building. He does not want his competition to know the moves that he's making right now. And he was the one that asked, and he had us put in the contract, if you've seen the offer to the city, it's to have that dynamite, and it's assignees, that it's assignees is the, company that, I can talk more about it on Monday night. You know, when you have, dealing with somebody like this, your hands are kind of tied on what you
And the
can
reason
do.
for the public hearing, I think, was more, it wasn't as much about what's going in there as it is about the cost of the building and what the city owes on it, and
I don't
whether the
know.
public feels like we should,
You know, I don't know, Al, what if you got some company wanting to store some kind of dangerous chemicals out there? I wanna know that.
Well, that's covered in the covenants. That would be covered in the
But I
covenants.
don't know that. You know,
I see what you're going at, but also somebody pays to purchase something we don't have a whole lot of control over what they do want to do.
well, technically you do.
It's,
You may run them off, but you do have,
yeah, in certain things, that would go back into what the city allows in that, district. I mean, that's some, requirement.
well, it's still,
That's covered in the covenant.
It is.
it's, but it's, like I say, you know, if you're gonna have a public hearing, you need to be open about exactly what is there. I don't, you know,
Well, that's why I tried to put more information in there than the notice was going to have. That's why I wrote the article. And it wasn't about the executive session, it was about what's happening.
But we just met in the executive session to do that, I thought. That was it.
I was stunned when I saw the letter, because I knew a lot of that took place in the executive session. And I said, well, you know.
But if we would have not acted on it to go to public hearing, then there would have been grounds for it being an issue. And we went and agreed to have a public hearing, that opens up that opportunity more so than if we hadn't.
I guess.
If we hadn't agreed to go forward, then that can would come out, and you have a very good ground to stand on that.
It's just vague. Most people, 99% of people think it's fireworks.
After that statement, I do.
I mean, we thought it's fireworks. And then I had a little bird tell me it ain't fireworks, it's something else.
That is part of the thing that I heard, the other part was financial part. That is
Yeah, the giant thing too is,
Yeah.
is an issue.
If it was on
Some people-
jobs, it overall.
And I think, you know, I'm just talking, I think another thing to consider is the city's financial standing. I mean, you guys ain't hurt. I mean, and if you get rid of this building, you don't have any other state buildings. If a company was to all of a sudden say, hey, Monroeville's a place, and you say, well, sorry, we just sold our last building.
But at the same time, there's no longer a spec building, it's been customized.
It's been customized just for that one manufacturing company.
But,
James,
But the loading docks and all that other stuff out there, bathrooms, anybody.
yeah, that's what I say, you can, if the price is right, and the location is right, I can make it work.
And that's just like the other day, I was coming back, from Fairhope, and you know, they have 3,000 acres right there before you get to I-65. You know what they're fixing to do? Build a spec building.
And, you know, that was where a car manufacturer, China, would
They still have it, so evidently they want to build a spec building somewhere.
You know, y'all put in a lot y'all got a lot invested in that building, and, to just give it up for that
We
reason.
talking to public here, you have opportunity.
Yeah, you be public, man.
And for-
You be on the list too.
Okay. All right, well, there being no public business for the work session,
Mr. Mayor.
we'll adjourn to the.
Oh, well, what about the brick patio? The brick patio.
Brick patio. Yeah. Give us an update on it.
Well, I got a quote on it, for 4,700, I believe it was, maybe we got the quote. And it's, we won't make it look new, but we're gonna be able to fix the, trip hazards and all of that. There's still gonna be some long sag, but that's not really a trip hazard right now. In order to fix it right, I had two people to tell me, you might want to tear it all up. But we can go in there and fix, what's bad and what could be a potential hazard as far as somebody tripping or something. And that way we'd be able to use it and go ahead and, once we get the pavilion fixed, or we could at least rent out the terrace room if we get that fixed.
What your wishes, you said the repair on it would be about $4,700?
Yes, I believe that's what it was, 4,700 something.
So I'm gonna fix the wall one, right?
Well, now the one right in front of the pavilion that goes down, they would have to tear that whole section out to actually get it back right. And you would be talking probably another $2,000 right there. So that whole section would have to come out to get that section level.
And that's what the insurance agent is.
That's the one she pointed out to us.
Yeah, but now the thing about it is a gradual slope. It's not like the other spots are there. You got a brick sticking up, one down low. That's the trip hazard. Now you could call that right there the pavilion a trip hazard, but it's got enough slope to it where you're not going to just walk out there and just fall. I don't think. Now, if you want to get them to give us a good quote on fixing that, but to fix this part, the two parts in the steps and then the pieces around that's actually messed up is gonna be a little over 4,700. But to fix that one spot right there in front of the pavilion, it's probably gonna be, I would be scared to say no less than 1,500, but you gotta take it all the way across there.
Do they all know about AMIC?
Huh?
Do they all know about AMIC dinging us for that?
Anyway,
Our insurance company, AMIC, came out and they assessed the property in this Bevel area down by the terrace room. They're dinging us on our insurance as a fall risk and hazard in that area. So, but this quote that was given to us will not cover
That part.
Bevel area. It's only gonna cover certain areas, so it's not.
But she
gonna fix the-
specifically pointed that out, Mary, when
Right.
Billy Wayne and I were with her. She said this would go against the city if someone, was to get hurt right here. So,
Did you get a price to redo the whole patio?
no,
I thought we got the area barricaded off.
Yeah, we
it
did.
is.
No,
You got it barricaded off.
yeah,
It's still roped off, Anthony. Yeah, it's still roped off, because of the pavilion, the tree damage. This is about the break area by the terrace room.
Yes, ma'am.
That's kind of, the bricks are fall hazards.
Mhm.
And so the, quote is to fix the some of the brickwork, but not the area that AMIC, our insurance company, is concerned about.
well, see, I didn't know about the insurance company the other day, after I done got the quote with. But now I tell you what we could do, if you wanted to tear all them brick out, we could put asphalt there and do brick frame. Just like it's over here by the fountain. If you didn't want to go back with a real brick. You could, go in there with asphalt and do the brick print just like what's over here. I could get a quote on that. Or if you want to cement slab all around.
Would that be more doable?
What? No, you don't, on the brick prints, you're gonna have a maintenance thing, but no more than being foot traffic, you may be looking at over 7 to 8 years of having to repay it. Where now if it's in an actual traffic area, like vehicles and stuff, you might get maybe 4 years of it.
What is council wishes? You wanna get quotes,
Get a quote on, yeah, let's think about fixing the problem, let's see what it's gonna cost us, and then we make a decision.
Right. So you get a quote both ways, like you talked about, on asphalt and then on the concrete. And, we'll take it up next council meeting.
Well, also fixing it totally, then you talk about it.
Totally going through and taking all of it out and relaying everything.
It gives all the options.
Yeah. Well,
Anything else, Council Burke?
Yes,
Are we gonna support, an EPA, we supposed to put, an EPA to take those like that thing. Have they already got somebody on?
I've not been offered a name yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be left up to you all, could we, maybe, it'll be left up to you to bring a name.
Yeah, I've heard the name, EPA had, suggested someone, they were confirming it. And once they get the name, then I'll submit it to the council.
That's your calling and not us.
Right.
Our approval is call.
The approval of the council, I get the name submitted.
Yeah, because I had a person that said they would like to be on the EPA board,
Okay,
but that's your calling, so we have to stay out of it.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, Anthony? Anything?
Sir?
You got anything?
No, sir, I don't. Mr. Terry Johnson gonna do it. Sure.
Okay, all right. Sandy? Mike? Chief? Okay.
You get 2 times tonight.
Okay, all right, well, we'll adjourn to, work session, prepare for the, council meeting.
Hey, Mary. Mary. Can you talk to me, can you talk to me private?
Well, she'd be in trouble, she was talking, she said, I don't know if they'll be able to send somebody, and I said, well, you might just talk to the security. We can stand out there. We can put out cones if we have to. Well, I have some cones that I can put tomorrow where I don't know. You like, well, this is what I had talked to Linda about, and she was going to talk to y'all. Instead of them coming into the meeting house, like from the straight up on the overhang, they would go and turn the long way. And then that way, those two people have to cross each other. They would come in, turn, and go right back out. Well, that's the reason I thought they put out. Yes, sir. And then they just stand there so they see that it's gonna move. We got things. Oh, they all are.
Are they? They go some. They shot, they're gonna shot.
Big shape.
She named the shade.
We might be able to. We can knock a hole in the wall.
Oh, that's like when the car.
Yeah.
Get out.
Oh, okay.
I like snakes. I have to stick my hand in.
It's raining. You can't tell them how far it is across. That wouldn't really sure stop.
Oh, okay.
It's real, I say.
Yeah. Okay, man.
What you got, Jim? I hope you brought me
You gonna be around after you.
Move around here.
Okay, sir. Goes on that. Jim.
That's right, Sam. If you go and look at the right side, there's Sam.
That's the order.
Okay.
Doing all right? See you. All checked out.
I got a ball game tonight.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Who y'all play tonight?
Clark County.
That's good, that's right, and next to that Texaco part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
Is it my turn to come to the principal's office? I didn't do it this time.
What did you do?
Oh. I'm gonna share. What's the seed line? Yes, wait, and I'll shoot.
Okay. But no, I was totally against that. And that business, that's dog. Go down.
So you in Wolf before?
Yes.
I
told Greg Norris one day, I said, I need to ride down there on Norris Avenue where I grew up. And see that beach street and stuff. We better, but I know all of them. I know the young nowadays, they can't relate to that.
Yeah, they don't know
thought that was me.
Well, he knows that, but Steve.
Right that one. Lavender.
Maybe you're too efficient. You're too efficient. Oh, well, that's good, I guess. Don't worry about staying too late. Yeah, $50 could have over there.
Yeah. Good afternoon, the time is now 5 o'clock, and we would like to call the regular meeting of the city council of the city of Monroe to order, beginning with our invocation by Reverend Terry Johnson.
Council. Blessed God, our Father, again, we find ourselves humbly bowed down at your throne of mercy and grace. Father, we come this evening asking if you will impart on the mayor and the council knowledge and wisdom to lead Monroeville and her citizens to the path that you have for them to be. God, we ask for your knowledge and guidance and protection. In your son Jesus' name we pray. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Stand to pledge of allegiance. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. So the work session is held on December 1st, 2020 at 2:45 p.m. The regular meeting is held on December 1st, 2020 at 5 p.m. And the special call meeting is held on December 7th, 2020 at 4:30 p.m. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
I make a motion to approve all three.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, we're ready for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next item for action is resolution 2020-12 004. And that's the LDOT, application for the Golf Drive project. Do I have a motion to approve? Okay. So if the council wishes to not approve this at this time, then we will select a letter back to LDOT to find the project. Okay, next item on the agenda is to set a special call meeting for December 21st, immediately following the public hearing to vote on the resolution and orders to sell the IP building. Do I have a motion to approve?
I said that.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
So we're not having on the 21st?
Yeah, we're gonna have the public hearing on the 21st. And then after the public hearing, to move forward with, to vote on the resolution to sell.
So we're not on the same day, though. It's gonna be 2 different days. One will be the 21st and the 28th.
Well, if we can do it all on the 21st, we won't have to be on
No.
the 28th. Okay,
What time the 21st will be?
4:30.
4:30.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, next item on the agenda is the community house fee for the food bank. And this is the food bank that, Mr. Pete Black was involved in, I think through the Land Digger Organization. And they're, requesting that, the fee be waived for the, remainder of the term because they're now using the facility out at the industrial park. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We're not waiving the fee, we're just canceling the contract.
Right.
That's what we're doing. I want to feel like we're going to a zero fee with anybody.
Right. Cancel the contract. Yes, exactly right. Okay, all in favor? Okay, we also have a quote from the state bid for the purchase of a, public works truck, an F-450. The pricing has been confirmed by Michael Lassiter. And to move forward with the purchase, I need a motion to confirm that. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
One opposed. Opposed because I prefer to see us include local bidders in that.
Okay. We also have, coming up a change order, and that is for parking spaces at the Vantage Fair Lake, in which, the change order would encompass the addition of 7 parking spaces along the ground. Do I have a motion to approve?
Is it dam area or on the inlet area?
In the
Okay.
area, on the upper side. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I so approve. Motion.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Going to the next matters on the agenda, is presented by me to set a public hearing to close out the CDBG, Economic Development Grant for January 5th at 4:50 p.m. And this has to do with the, J&L, because they met the terms and conditions of the grant as anticipated.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. Okay. I have no other matter to present at this time. The one thing that I do need to go back and do that was on the agenda, and that was for, the speakers to appear before the council, and that's Mr. Ray Lambert. And Mr. Lambert, we would request that you limit your comments to 5 minutes, that they do not concern any personnel matters, pending investigations, criminal issues, regarding the city.
That's Mr. Kirk. That's Mr. Kirk from Walmart.
Oh. That's what happens when we all wear masks. Okay, all right. So he's not in attendance, so we shall proceed. And okay, matters to present by council members, Councilman Bruce.
Just wish everyone a Merry Christmas and appreciate all that the city employees have done this year.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Ruffin. Councilman Thomas.
The same as what Al said, just was here about.
Thank you. Councilman Hammer.
Merry Christmas, and it's been a trying year for all city employees with the virus, the storms, and everything else. We appreciate your hard work.
Councilman Thornton.
To basically represent Ray at some point, we not necessarily need to increase fines, we need to enforce. I know it's come up time and time again, being a priority item, and Mandy will help us in that some, especially during Christmas time, people parking in handicap spaces. I know y'all do a good job. I know, I used to have one officer, still does a better job than some of the others. I understand, but anyway, if y'all pay special attention to that more so in this time. The other, do we need to act on anything on the Mardi Gras parade at this time? Say we're going forward with the parade?
Yes, sir, and I would entertain the motion to, move forward with the parade and consider the marketplace at the next council meeting.
But we can go and get public being starting to comment and get aware and so on and so forth of the reverse. That Mardi Gras parade. Okay, I'll have a motion on that to proceed with that version that Dawn presented to us.
All right, and we address the marketplace next council.
Yes, we'll address marketplace in the next meeting.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, Councilman Colton. Okay,
That's all I have.
that's all.
Merry Christmas to all y'all, thanks for the work that y'all.
Okay. From our department heads, Ms. Jackson,
Yes, sir.
okay, Mr. Ball,
Yep, I had a request, this afternoon about building some, an apartment complex on West Claiborne. It falls in Belmas District. The front of West Claiborne lots are zoned business 2. The back of the lots are zoned residential 4. We would need to rezone them all residential, the front ends of those 2 lots. I have a
That area, vacant area.
So it's just the front edge. This back here is already done.
If you're going the other direction, that would say no, but going this direction, it's all be fine.
This is the same development person that did the apartments in Apple. If you wanna see how the lot, how it lays out.
That's this section right here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're going next to this way.
Right.
Since talking
You're right
about
there.
these parcels are zoned,
This correct.
the two right here, but the back of the parcels are zoned R4. So he's gonna ask the council at the next
I would
meeting
think
to
that's not
consider
what we're looking at.
putting these all at R4 instead of having it, the parcel split in half.
Give those, spot those stuff.
I'll save this for you.
Y'all. The Donald.
Well, yeah, I think we're through it, I mean, if we get taken to this, that's gonna make sense. That's gonna make sense.
So this goes all the way down. And goes down, all this section.
It's where there's a couple little, one-story white buildings that look like it was a motor pool. Something like that. Y'all know better.
The old store.
Yeah.
Or you
It's
got
been
it.
on here. Store.
It's a little bit further, yeah. The old store.
No.
That's
just
right street, that's another street.
So one of our options for rezoning is to set a, public hearing at the next, meeting, and then we could post it in the newspaper. That's the most expeditious way to rezone, since it's already partially zoned R4. I thought that would be our best.
And it's always on this side. And there's already, B2 is already full. There's your turn going across the hill and there's turn going against.
Yes, because you get those.
This is a blip right here. And that's
Yeah. That height is possible.
Y'all would entertain a motion to have a public hearing? Yes, sir.
We do that. It's on the agenda, it's all right. Not on the agenda. To make a motion to do, have a public hearing now.
We gotta advertise for 2 weeks.
The apartment don't have already nine. If they do something.
It's the exact same. We'll have more information by then, but they have a early February deadline. And so when he came in today to talk, we saw that it was business. I thought we better do something immediately so we could go through if it all goes through.
So, I have a motion, I will entertain the motion to set the public hearing for January 5th, 4:30.
Yes, sir.
To discuss the rezoning of the described area.
Yes, sir.
I make that motion.
Okay, have a motion, do I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
That'll go to planning commission in January.
No, you don't have to go to the planning commission. I'll show you.
That's fine.
Thank y'all. Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and do we need to do anything about next Wednesday at lunch?
Yeah, what the council, thoughts on, after lunch next Wednesday, all of the, I'm not gonna say non-essential employees, but, employees, basically we shut down at 12 o'clock.
might just have to use their vacation time.
That'd be vacation. We need a motion to that thing.
Yes, sir.
I make that motion.
And there's the motion on the floor is about, allowing employees to take off at 12 o'clock on Wednesday, what's that? 23rd. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right,
You better
Chief?
be.
Okay. You have anything else?
Merry Christmas and live at home.
Okay, all right, Ms. Thompson, anything for EPA? Are we good?
So just Merry Christmas to you, all of you.
Well, I must say, Merry Christmas to everybody. I appreciate the work that everyone has done with me. Haven't been on the job for about 6 weeks. Some of it has been a learning experience, but good Lord will, we will continue to move forward. And the more I learn, the more, prospects I see for Monroeville moving forward in the future and the new year. And I hope to be able to bring some of those prospects to you in the beginning of the year. It may entail working partnerships with some other people, but the thing about it, sometimes when you got numbers behind you, you can get people's attention. So I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we all be blessed. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting till next year.
All in favor?
Thank you. Appreciate
Good, how are you?